Would you look at that? The Celtics pick up a win in a clutch, close game, something that has not happened very often this year. And it was against a pretty good team in the Charlotte Hornets, a team that the Celtics are neck and neck with right now in the standings. A possible play-in opponent as the standings are today, and a team that they've been playing really tight games against this year. As high a quality of win as the Celtics have had um, all season, pretty much. I mean, there's a couple ones that stand out. This is certainly a good one because, again, of the opponent. Not saying the Hornets are championship contenders or anything, but they're a good team that plays hard, and because of how the Celtics won, which was they let a lead slip, but they were able to hold on and to make plays when it counted and get to the free throw line when it counted and get easy baskets to hold on to win this game. The Celtics' last two defensive possessions, or two of the last three, I guess the last possession of the game technically was another defensive possession, was a great, fantastic block by Rob Williams of PJ Washington on the 3-point line. And then Jalen Brown playing some excellent defense. I believe it was on LaMelo Ball that resulted in the Hornets scoring no points in those two possessions and the Celtics being able to get to the free throw line, knocking down some clutch free throws between Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum, and icing the game. And that's what we've been sort of waiting for all season long: is to see, can the Celtics play smart and keep it together in these close games? Can they not completely melt down? Can they hold on and make the plays when it matters the most to win a basketball game? And for 99% of the season, the answer has been no. And tonight, they were able to do that. And that's on top of what I said after their past win, which is they've been playing the best basketball that they have all season long. And, I'll come with the same disclaimer that I did last time. That doesn't mean that you should think any differently about what this team's true trajectory is or what they actually are, other than they've been a little less disappointing than what they have been for most of the season. This stretch, I'd say through January to now, which is February 2nd, has been factually their best stretch of basketball. They've been playing their best. Not surprisingly, they've been their healthiest. And tonight was another example of that because something that they haven't been able to do is win these games decided by five or less points. And tonight they did that. The final score of this game 107 to 113. So it was a 6 point game, but you get my point. In a clutch game, and that was just extended because of free throws at the end. But it was a tie game late in the fourth quarter, and the Celtics were able to make the plays on both sides of the court to ensure victory. And if you've been watching the team all year long or listening to me, you know that has not been happening virtually at all this season. So it was a really nice change. And I think everybody expects when it's a close game in the fourth quarter for the Celtics to melt down, their players included. And tonight was a change of pace. So the Celtics deserve a lot of credit for winning that game. Again, it's not like they, in a clutch performance, beat the Suns or the Warriors or a fully stocked Bucks team or a Nets team, but they got it done tonight. And on top of that, the fact that they've been playing pretty good basketball the past month, those are good signs, and it shows that I think there's growth amongst the team, and that there's growth with Coach Udoka. Though he made a challenge tonight that it's got to be one of the worst challenges in NBA history, and I can say that confidently because the challenge rule hasn't been in effect for that long. He challenged what was an intentional foul by Josh Richardson. I have no idea why he did that. It makes no sense, but hey, they won the game, so whatever. But I think there's been significant growth on the team, and unfortunately, though, I feel like at the trade deadline, the Celtics are going to be in total sell mode. You hear Josh Richardson's name come up in trade rumors, Dennis Schroeder's name come up in trade rumors. You always hear Marcus Smart's name come up in trade rumors. So we'll see what the team decides to do. Obviously, as I've explained on this show and other shows that I do, Celtics owners are in cheap mode right now and looking to save money and not add salary on. So I'm not convinced that this good stretch of basketball is going to last towards the end of the season. I would imagine the Celtics make a trade that makes them worse in the for the near future. Um, So we'll have to see what that brings, as it's about a week away. Um, but for now, you can take solace in the fact that the Celtics did win a close game against a good opponent and have been playing their best basketball of the season long. 3 wins in a row ties their longest streak of the season. I know that's nothing to get excited about, but their next two opponents are the Pistons and the Magic, two of the worst teams in the league. So there is no reason the Celtics should not extend this to a bare minimum 5 game win streak. I think that should be the expectation. They should absolutely beat those two teams. I know they've struggled against bad teams before. No excuses to not beat up on the next two teams they play. Let's get into the box score here tonight, and then we'll go to the comments and the thread. I see you there, Leonard, my friend. Final score again, 113 to 107. Celtics improved to 3 games over 500 now, 28 and 25, 18 and 10 at home at the Garden. The Warriors are 28 and 24, 14 and 16 away from Charlotte. Celtics starters tonight were their typical starting lineup of Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown. They did play small rotation tonight, just 8 men. I don't know if that's something that Coach Udoka is going to be doing going forward, or if that was a matchup thing that he saw with the Hornets tonight. But including those guys who started, the 3 guys off the bench were Grant Williams, Dennis Schroeder, and Josh Richardson. Tatum tonight, 33 minutes, 6 of 16 from the floor, 1 of 7 from three. One of those terrible shooting nights from three from Tatum, though he was 6 of 6 from the free throw line, including some clutch ones in the fourth quarter. 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, and 19 points for Tatum. Um, Solid, came on at the end of the game, driving the ball hard to the basket and getting the free throw line, which I like to see. Did a good job rebounding, good job, really good job moving the ball with those 9 assists. Didn't hurt you too bad with turnovers tonight with 3. The Celtics did turn the ball over 18 times, which is too much, but Tatum wasn't the major culprit there. Jaylen Brown was. We'll get to him in a second. So okay, pretty good, not great game from Jason Tatum. Al Horford was solid in his 33 minutes, though not spectacular. 33 minutes, I mentioned, 2 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 5 from three. Did have 12 rebounds, just 1 assist, though, 1 steal, and 6 points for Al. So he was okay. He did what they needed him to do tonight, which was rebound. Rob Williams made a key defensive play at the end of the game. Really deserves a lot of credit for that. Was very good on the defensive side tonight. 36 minutes, 5-6 from the floor, 8 rebounds. Would like to see a little bit more rebounding from him, but Horford picked up the slack there. 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 10 points as he really filled up the stat sheet tonight. So good game from Rob. Marcus Smart, excellent game from him tonight. 33 minutes, 7 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 6 from three. Perfect 6 of 6 at the free throw line, including 2 clutch ones late. 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and just 2 turnovers as he's been taking care of the ball the past couple games very well. 22 points for Marcus Smart, and then Jaylen Brown chipped in with 38 minutes, 7 of 15 shooting, 0 of 3 from three, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Would like to see him get to the free throw line more. 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, no blocks, 7 turnovers, way too many, and just 15 points. Not a great game from Jaylen Brown, though I do like to see the 6 assists from him. That's certainly a positive thing. As far as the 3 guys off the bench, Grant Williams had 12 points in 20 minutes on 3 of 6 from three, 4 of 7 from the floor. He also had 2 assists and 3 rebounds. Very good game from Grant. Dennis Schroeder, not so great tonight as his name continues to crop up in trade rumors, being the most likely candidate to be traded by the Celtics. 17 minutes, 3 of 8 from the floor, 0 of 1 from three. Just 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, and 6 points. And the player of the game for the Celtics tonight, in my opinion, without a doubt, was Josh Richardson. Had maybe his best game as a Celtic. Fantastic off the bench. 31 minutes, 8 of 12 from the floor, 6 of 8 from three, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block, and 23 points, and some excellent defense. Josh Richardson, really, really good game tonight. The Celtics do not even come close to winning this game without him. And the Celtics pull off a big win for them. Really, an impressive, nice win for them. I do need to point out, though, that LaMelo Ball did have a career high 38 points against the Celtics tonight. As often people do have career games against the Celtics. That just seems to be how it goes. But the Celtics do take care of business, 113 to 107, and win this game. And it was an important game, I think, for their confidence, playing a team that is very similar in record wise to them, and is a potential playoff opponent, especially in the play in. and a game that they type of game that they've lost throughout most of this season. So definitely a good confidence builder for the team. Let's see what you say in the chat, Leonard, my friend. I mean, hey, give credit where credit's due. Despite their inconsistencies and poor play, the Celtics are playing some good basketball lately. I agree. Definitely their best stretch of the season. I don't know how you could even make any sort of argument against that. It won't happen, but there are days when you entertain a Brown for Bradley Beal trade. Uh, yeah, Bradley Beal trade rumors certainly heating up as the Wizards continue to play really poorly after their hot start to the season. He seems non-committal for the first time ever there. Obviously, a lot of teams want him. The 76ers, we know, have a long-standing Simmons for Beal trade offer. I don't think that Beal would be a better fit next to Tatum than Brown. The only benefit of that would be if Beal is here, you can say to yourself that Tatum will be here long term, which I think is a serious concern, as I've brought about on other shows before. So if that's the case, if you're like, okay, we can get Bradley Beal, maybe we're slightly worse or the same, but we know Jason Tatum's going to be in the fold for a lot longer, then it's worth it to me. But that may not be the case. I don't know. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I think a Beal trade before the trade deadline is highly unlikely. If he's going to get moved, I think it's probably in the off season. That's just my guess. Usually these massive trades for franchise players or superstars aren't done in the regular season. They're done in the off season. And then Leonard, just saying, watch them lose to the Pistons. Yeah, they could easily lose to the Pistons or the Magic. They shouldn't. And I think it would be a huge setback after playing so well and winning a game like this to lose to one of those teams because they stink. But yeah, obviously they could. They're capable of losing to anybody, without a doubt. If you don't think so, you haven't been watching this team. Um, but for tonight, I think Celtics fans can be happy because it was one of their more impressive wins of the season, and they did it again in a fashion they haven't been able to do it for most of this year. So we can be happy about that. Their next game, as I mentioned, is against the Pistons. It is in Detroit as the Celtics begin a bit of a road trip. That game is going to be on Friday, 7 o'clock, so a bit earlier start than the usual 7:30 starts. I'll be back for that to do post game for that show for that game rather. And the Celtics play 3 on the road now. Again, Orlando is on Sunday, and then they play the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. So no Kyrie Irving. That's on Tuesday, and that's going to be nationally televised on TNT. Then the rest of next week they play Denver and Atlanta, and then they go on the road to Philadelphia a week from Tuesday. So tough schedule coming up, with the exception of Orlando and Detroit. You want to bank those games. That's why it's so important. You can't lose to these crappy teams. Celtics really want to take care of business against those two teams. They have the chance to extend this winning streak to 5 games, which 4 games would be their best streak of the season. So 5 games, man, that's just gravy. So let's hope they take care of business, and I will be back then. Appreciate you, Leonard. I appreciate you guys all watching, whether you're watching live or after the fact, and I will be back later. See you, everybody.